Do you read me?
Be advised, you are coming in weak and unreadable.
Say again, Com Tower. This is Pacho. Do you read me? Over.
Pacho, this is Com Tower. I read you Lima Charlie.
Com Tower, Com Tower. Request permission to launch and commence the field op. Over.
Stand by. Pacho, permission granted. I say again, permission granted.
Roger that. Launching podcast in 3, 2. You are now entering the field op with your host, Pacho Correa, Chief Warrant Officer 3, United States Marine Corps retired. Get some. Hurrah! Get some. Hurrah! What's going on, everybody? Another amazing weekend going down. Baby Friday Night's Eve. Baby Friday. God damn, it's almost the weekend, man. This week has been zooming really, really by. And you know how the saying goes, time's fun when you're having flies. If you remember that movie and you put it in the comments, you will get a prize. So what movie was that quote from? But anyways, hey, look, we got a really good oh my God, dude, we got a good show for you. But let's get all the pleasantries out of the way. Hey, if you want to find yourself and and need help on the financial side, figuring things out, like, hey, what's the best way to get better returns on my money? My concerns, I have concerns about retirement or buying a house. How do I do it? What financial strategies can we put together? Hey, I can help. I can actually help you out with that. No pressure, no commitment, no nothing. All we do is just have maybe a 1 hour conversation. I'll show you how the things work, how I help families, veterans, retirees, active duty, civilians. Doesn't really matter. I work about with just anybody, and put some very specific strategies techniques that can, one, achieve your financial goals. If you want to learn how to make money, make some extra cash, you got a couple hours during the week, and you're willing to get yourself out of, make yourself uncomfortable a little bit and get some state licenses paid by us, and give me a call. You can shoot me a DM through Facebook, YouTube. Doesn't matter. I'm on TikTok as well, and let's have a quick conversation. If it makes sense, great. If not, then maybe you can point me in the right direction. I do work with just about anybody, and my work is referral based. I also help veterans putting claims together with the VA. I use AI. I know there's a lot of people out there doing the same thing. The only difference with me is that it's very, very, very affordable. So let's have a conversation, and we can go from there. The other thing is that if you haven't, where are you at? Where do you sit at with your VA claims and benefits? Just because the VA gave you a rating doesn't mean that you have to take that. If you're not satisfied and you have other things that you want the VA, should be compensating you for, again, now's the time to do it under the PAC Act. I'm on and many other things, but don't sell yourself short, so that, and kind of throw your hands in the air saying, oh, well, this is where it's at, because these benefits are for you. They're there, and and the VA owes it to you, even though they act like they don't, or they're doing you a favor. Now's the time to do it, folks. Okay. The other thing is that, hey, look, this show is 100% ran by me. Brian Coburn and the amazing folks at Sitchradio allow me to use their platform, but I don't get compensated on any of this stuff. All I ask is that let everybody know about this show, support your local podcaster, and if you know anybody that I can help on the financial side, please, by all means, refer me to somebody. Now, I would love to have that conversation with them, because at the end of the day, hey, we should be helping each other out. Okay. So, and if you ever want to be on the podcast game, give Sitchradio a call. Brian Coburn, another Marine, is an amazing individual that can help you do that as well. Okay. But hey, this show is all about First Amendment, all the amendments that the Constitution brings us: the right to bear arms, freedom of speech, which is somewhat related to what we're going to talk about today, and and look, we can agree to disagree. So if you like what you hear, like, subscribe, and follow. I need a lot more analytics on the on YouTube, as well as my TikTok channel. So there's about 7,000 of you here on Facebook listening to me. hey, just go in there, just hit like, help me with the analytics. So that way I can, at least, do get some assistance from these other platforms, since I advertise a lot. I do a lot of free advertising for whatever reason. Just getting my notes together because, you know, this show today is somewhat related to some of the things that we talked about, and things that I defended for 20 plus years when I was in the in the military. But just to preface the show, I received a text earlier this week by, let's just say, somebody close, and and I was just like, and I was thinking like, hey, you know what, man, this would actually make a pretty good show fodder, so to speak. So yeah, let me just kind of in a day and age where we're all surrounded by social media. Just about anybody can podcast, no pun intended. uh just about anybody, we all have control, and I think you've heard me say this quote before. um you know everybody has a game plan. And I think Mike Tyson always said, anybody can be brave, or anybody can have a game plan until you get punched in the face, right? So I guess today is kind of a little bit of my take, a veteran's take on culture and online outrage, political judgment, as well as armchair activism, especially from people who've never freaking served, never raised their right hand, never sacrificed anything, never stood a watch, never did fire watch, never sat on a fucking guard shack with with one of those green monster books, taking notes every hour. All is clear, all quiet. Blah blah blah. So if you want to talk about it, throw your comments right here on the show. Hey, I'll even go this far. If you're a civilian out there and you want to have a conversation, you want to have some discourse, I'll even give you the link. I'll put the link right here on the comments, and you can jump on the show, and we can have a conversation, because I'm really curious. So uh, you know, like I said, this individual wrote me a text this week, how disappointed how they were really disappointed with my political views. Yes, I am a Republican. I don't think I've ever politicized my show uh, to create a divide between either one of us. I mean, at the end of the day, I have my political views. I think under the Constitution, as an American citizen, who, by the way, has has served, written that blank check in the event that some shit goes down in America, and you know, and did all and got all done through the vetting process. Hey, I'm here, right? So I think I'm entitled to that opinion. Nonetheless, you are entitled to as an American. We can agree to disagree, right? So, anyways, this person said that they went to a No Kings parade and ran into other vets who feel the same. Right then and there, that just kind of fucking struck a nerve to me. And by the way, fellow veterans, you can go to those parades uh, as well. I mean, it's your prerogative. It's your constitutional right uh, to do whatever it is that you do. But what I got no problem with people having their own opinion. But when you start questioning kind of like my integrity, my patriotism, calling me out on based assumptions, then I have a fucking issue with that. You know what I'm saying? So uh this again, I want to just this today's episode is not about politics. It's about principle. So I just want to be very clear on that aspect. So you don't have to stand with me politically. Um, but if you never stood a watch, or all the other, or stood in formation, or had to do a change of fucking command and stand there for hours till some people have passed out, and your knees hurt. And by the way, I do have the knee surgeries that go along with that. Maybe you want to sit this one out, and before you start putting your fucking two cents into things. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the social media soapbox that we're in today. Um, and everybody's an expert now on just about anything and everything. Hey, look, I mean, I guess you could say that, just because I bought this microphone, the soundboard set on fucking Amazon, that, hey, I'm entitled to my opinion, but not really. I mean, you don't have to. That's a great thing. You don't have to listen to the show, but but social media has given everybody a voice. I mean, that's the and many people have forgotten the value of thinking before speaking. It's just like freaking diarrhea of the mouth, and it's like and not even checking their own, doing a little bit of research and fact checking themselves before posting shit online. I mean, it's ridiculous. So it used to be that people would shut their mouth unless they knew what they were talking about. Um, now all it takes is just somebody with with Wi-Fi and a meme, and all right, let's go, right? So people comment on military operations. Why are we doing this? Who've never had even read a fucking field manual. Remember those? Much less worn a goddamn uniform. You know what I'm saying? And then there are some who someone have done some of those things, but they never fucking deployed, or So how can you comment on something that you if you weren't really there? And by the way, hey, look, I have a lot of friends, I have a lot of fellow servicemen that didn't deploy, and they did their part, but it's like I'm not gonna go comment on, if I wasn't a grunt, I'm not gonna go out there and comment on grunt shit, or operations that I wasn't a part of. I can only comment on my world and the deployments and the military stuff that I did. I mean, us in the military, we have an overall knowledge of tactics and things and that. But again, this is to those who are fucking, the ones that think they have a voice, but they've never stood for anything, right? So it's like armchair geopolitics, and people who who make comments without fact checking themselves. Uh, I mean, shit. Some of you motherfuckers have never even left your own zip code, man. I'm just saying, right? So when you're worn the flag on your shoulder, it means something different. In other words, when you're deploying in an austere environment, uh, you know, doing the thing and patrolling, driving around a vehicle, hoping and praying that you don't hit a fucking IED, or that, man, am I gonna see my kids? Or was that last phone call via that field phone with a 3 to 4 second delay on my voice when I'm calling my family, and every other word I have to say over? Is this gonna be my last? Was that the last time I'm gonna talk to them? Right? So we're taught we move with purpose, but maybe that's why we can't even stand folks who just move who just barely can move their own fucking thumbs. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, so how did we get here? What was the rise of the keyboard commando, right? So let's define who is a keyboard commando. That's they're loud online and quiet in real life. Maybe you got picked on when you were in high school. Oh no, wait. Some of I can't even say that nowadays, because anybody that was picked nowadays with this no bullying bullshit, we have this quasi society of pussies who have never even fucking once, and even people who grew up in my generation and maybe were older, a little bit older than I am. You know who I'm talking to, the one that sent me the text. We've forgotten how the fuck, how to be brave nowadays. And let me tell you, yes, I came here. Again, I'm not putting myself in a pedestal, but I came here. I knew no English. The first school that I went to was Coral Terrace Elementary here in South Miami. From there, I went to West Miami Middle School, and I had a fucking bully. His name was Shane. Shane was this little skinny piece of shit that I was afraid of this motherfucker. I don't know why. I mean, thinking about it now, I was like, man. But hey, I'm gonna tell you this. It made me resourceful. It made me, think on my feet and all that shit. As a matter of fact, so resourceful that my buddy Nestor, wherever you're at, shout out to you, big dog. That hey, that dude became my little bodyguard, just like in the movie, from my bodyguard from, not the one with not the one with Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner, where he's carrying her on her. No, it wasn't like that. I mean, maybe I wish it was, but no, Nestor was just a fucking dude. But there are other movies like that. But anyways, what else is a keyboard commando? They never back it up. They give opinions for the day, but there's no real action. I mean, you know who the fuck you are. You're out there. You coming on my show. I've had some shade on some of my other platforms, but nonetheless, you know, it's like you maybe your parents didn't fucking hug you enough. Maybe they dropped you from while they were carrying you a couple of times. But man, some of you need a fucking life. I mean, for reals. It's like you need to get over yourselves. 100%, man. Your points and your feelings at the end of the day don't fucking matter. Just like mine don't really either, because a lot of you are just gonna go on with your fucking lives, you know. And a lot of us just go. I mean, I go to sleep just like I close my eyes, fucking say my prayers, wish that tomorrow is a better day than today, and let's go. I mean, that's pretty much it. Hell, I'm even I'm even preaching this to my ex-wife. Get over your. Everybody needs to get over your fucking selves, right? So, some examples of some of the shit some of these motherfuckers do is their patron on Facebook, right? Goes when it comes time to vote. When was the last time you fucking voted? I mean, and I've talked about it on the show before. Man, when I became a naturalized citizen, about my daughter was 5 days. My daughter was 5 days born. Yeah, she was only about 5 days old. And man, when I raised that right hand and I was given the reason and allowed to vote, oh man, I was happier than a pig in shit. Like and like we say in Spanish, like I was I was walking around like a pig, wearing a brand new rope. It's a saying in Spanish, but it just means like a happier than a pig in shit. I mean, I went over there. I registered with the Republican Party. Again, I'm not politicizing. I'm just telling you that and I was happy to do it, right? So, or they'll show up for vets and oh, America this and but when it's all real, oh, and one thing that I hear about some of these fuckers is I would have joined, but dot dot dot. And I've heard this line before. Oh, if that drill instructor or that drill sergeant would have got in my face, oh, you just don't know what I would do. Shut the fuck up, man. In our heads, or my other favorite line, I just, I was gonna join the Marine Corps, but or I went to another branch. Even you, and by the way, if you serve, thank you for your service. But even you motherfuckers that say that, it's like we don't want to hear it. You didn't join the Marine Corps. You pussed out. You joined another branch. Hey, that good for you. Live with yourself. Or if you didn't join, period, then fucking get over with your lives. You were a pussy. You didn't join. 100%. It's okay. Now, if you want to become a cop or a responder or whatever, hey, my hat's off to you. Then you did something with purpose that served your community and your nation. So with that, I'm okay with that. But the rest of you, shut the fuck up. Okay. And then you criticize veterans for because we speak our own minds. Hey, motherfucker, I drove in a Humvee, and I was telling this to somebody the other day. I drove around Iraq in 134-degree weather in a Humvee that back then was the A1 and A2 versions with no fucking AC, with a white dude on my side. And hey, shout out to my boy Crackers. You know who you are. By the way, the name of my Humvee was Beans and Crackers. I was Beans. My boy was Crackers. I mean, he was. But and I've had some of the best conversations amongst group different, and in the Marine Corps, there's no white, black, yellow, red, whatever. It's just we're all green and we all bleed the same. But you know who you are. So they're the same people who need a 20-minute break after assembling a fucking an IKEA whatever furniture and telling me how war works. I mean, are you serious? I mean, I worked with civilians when I was with corporate, and it just sometimes like, man, you're bitching about the most mundane fucking shit when there's bigger things out there that we should be complaining about, and that I've seen. It's like some of you don't even fathom what it's like to not shower for days, weeks, and even fucking months, and we take shit like that for granted. But what it's like I mentioned, calling your family, and saying, and just walking away from that green from that green phone, and with an inner peace, saying, hey, you know what, if I fucking get killed today, it's a good day to die. Because yeah, and I've had those a couple of times, and some of you just have no fucking clue whatsoever. So and they use, and some of you use "hoorah" and "semper fi, brother," like, as a punchline without no fucking purpose, because you don't know and you never fucking served. Okay, so, and by the way, this person too on that text message, I ran into some fucking veterans out there that they, with the No Kings parade and blah 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 blah. And look, let me tell you, the motherfuckers that you ran into out there, 9 times out, and by the way, you serve. I get it. My hat's off to you. Thank you for your service. But 9 times out of 10, those were the same motherfuckers that were shady. The same motherfuckers that were late to formations all the time. The same motherfuckers that would hide themselves during field day so that they wouldn't have to clean their fucking rooms. The same motherfuckers that when we were hiking, they would be the ones fucking up the formation so others can run. The same motherfuckers that shortchanged and just kind of scammed their way through, and they were that slimy shitbird their whole 4 years, or the ones that got kicked out, and then now they're all hoorah, bark, bark, woof, woof, USMC fucking shirt, when they probably have an other and honorable uh, discharge, or they smoked pot and got busted, and they were kicked, whatever else. Yeah, those were the motherfuckers, the ones that scream, oh yeah, I'm a technical expert and on the Marine Corps and blah blah. Shut the fuck up, you know. So because look, there's when we take that oath, there comes weight that comes with that bitch. And again, if you never carried it, I don't want to freaking hear it. So, you know, those of you that forgot, recite the paragraphs to the oath of enlistment. What does that mean to you at all? I state your name, do solemnly swear or affirm, because some of you are atheists and whatever. It's okay to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and fucking domestic. Yes, I'm talking about the motherfuckers that are here, causing shit and havoc, raping women, killing people, chopping them up, and then they get released on a technicality or some bullshit. Yeah. So that oath never fucking expired. So, so there's a difference between taking, an oath and having your own opinion. If I took that oath, I earned my right to give my fucking opinion. If you didn't take an oath for even for anything, shit, an oath to to be a doctor, then shut the fuck up. You can't comment on being a doctor just because you spend an entire season watching Grey's Anatomy. You know, it's like seriously, man. Some of you need to be put your big boy pants and just calm the hell down, man. Jeez Louise. And by the way, that oath doesn't expire. A lot of us carry that with identity, mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually, because so help me God. That I mean that states it on there. So again, if you don't believe in God, hey, that's you. You do you, boo boo. But I mean, shit, man. It's like we're slowly, our values are just going to shit, and I just can't believe it, man. What happened to going back to the basics? You know, so some people enjoy the freedom that we provide, and then the shame and then they shame us, the provider. It's like, oh, man, I'm telling you, when I was a recruiter, I was called. I'm not making this is in 2006, so this is when George Bush was the president. I believe. I mean, you know. So I was recruiting down in San Diego, and some of the shit that some of these so-called rich and elite families down in Torrey Pines, in Torrey Pines High School, La Jolla, universities, it's like, oh, my kid is not going to be a baby killer. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, what are we? I mean, that's far from the least. And I mean, I was called, a warmonger. I mean, come on, man. And by the way, I still recruited your fucking kid, and I made sure that his ass got his ass, you know, hazed in the maze when he was in fucking boot camp. So shut the fuck up, right? So I deserve. So you agree with me? I mean, hey, I made that oath, and yeah, I'm here to uphold the Constitution, regardless whether I agree or disagree with you. So I serve so you have the freedom to disagree, but fucking respectfully. So so if we don't see eye to eye on things, that's okay. It's all good. But don't confuse freedom of speech with freedom from consequences. Because if you fucking insult me with your freedom of speech, I'm gonna fucking punch you in the throat. Period. Because I'm and I'm okay with the consequences. And by the way, I fucking done that. And if you don't believe me, you can ask my wife about the Haagen Dazs incident. Those of you who know me and are listening to the show, you know the stories. There's a reason why I don't go to Haagen Dazs, or when I do, I go very carefully because hopefully they won't recognize me. Anyway, so because the thing is that there's a lot of this hypocrisy in this respect. So veterans. As a matter of fact, Veterans Day is coming up. Oh, hey, thanks for your service. Thanks for your service. And and which, by the way, I do have fucking issues with June being somebody else's an entire fucking month where it should be on the people that served and even or even died for this for our flag, right? So yeah, whatever, in that day, but then after that, forgotten. Fuck it and whatever. And I'm also talking to the shitty and not that again. I'm a huge I'm somewhat of an advocate for the VA. But I'm talking to the individuals that work in that system and treat veterans like shit. Yes, I'm fucking talking to you. So, but people we forget, and then here comes 9/11. Oh, maybe hey, we've never forgotten. Yes, you've already fucking forgot. You forgot about all those people in that time frame who people like Pat Tillman, the one of the guitar players from Nirvana. All these motherfuckers that served and everybody else who have died in the name and wrote that blank check, and those of us who wear the scars, internally, not externally, but we've already forgotten. There's a double standard, and it's fucking frustrating, people. It is. Oh, you're too aggressive. You're speaking, whatever. So, but meanwhile, you civilians go out there and you rant online and you express your opinion. You got fucking people up in Congress, who have no clue or business being in there, and meanwhile you think that you should be running the fucking government. No, it doesn't fucking work like that. So I mean, seriously, man. Some of you have. I came from a country that it's not the case anymore. Maybe they should bring this shit back, but you should serve your country at least 1 year. Do an enlistment, do whatever. That way it'll teach you some fucking patriotism and and now you have skin in the game. Now if you want to run your lips and rant online, now you've earned the fucking right. you know but a lot of us, oh well, the draft is, we shouldn't have the draft because blah 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 and whatever. But you know what, maybe we fucking should. Maybe we should. Maybe some of us would appreciate the good things that we fucking have here, that a lot of us take for granted, even me at times. So you know some people, go out there celebrating freedom while mocking, and you mock those who defend it, right? They all chant "No King" while getting triggered on a flag by somebody. As a matter of fact, where's my fucking hat? I have a hat. It's red, and it says, by the way, thanks to Catalin Floria. He's an army veteran in California who gave me this hat. It's red. It's crimson red. Excuse me, and it has the Marine Corps Eagle Globe and Anchor on the front, and it says United States Marine Corps, and over here it says Marine Corps retired. So I went to Starbucks and I was wearing my hat. Now a lot of people, sometimes some of you do a double take because they think, oh, thank you, babe. That's the trophy hooking it up. So this is my hat. Says retired Marine, U.S. Marine. So I wear this hat. Man, this right here, I wear like a red badge of courage. No pun intended. But let me tell you. So I sat down and I've already, when you go to, I love working out of Starbucks. One, I like the noise. Maybe I don't know, but I should be diagnosed with ADD, ADHD because I do like a little bit of commotion, so I can just kind of concentrate and hone in. Long story short, some people are doing double takes, like, oh, what does that say? I'm 100% sure that this lady, because I heard her comment, she says, oh, I thought about it too, because she looked at some other dude, and I had to do a double look because maybe they thought it was a Make America Great Again hat, which I know. By the way, I do have one. Again, my prerogative, but I don't try to bleed my or attack you. Hey, you can vote for whoever. That's okay. Anyways, I heard that. Oh, yeah, I had to do a double take too, and I was in my head. I'm like, bitch, I earned this. Whatever hat I wear, that's my fucking right. I earned that. I have skin. I have skin in the game. So some people get triggered by a hat, the words on a T-shirt, whatever. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, you know, it's like anything. And by the way, man, I could make another podcast on that on the conversation they were once having. They were having last week, and I was just kind of overhearing everything. By the way, it was about the Marines being sent to LA, and she was just giving her opinion. And it's again keyboard commandos not having a fucking clue what they were talking about, thinking that that it's not right, and it's It's like, no, no, bitch, you're fucking wrong. So don't tell me you love America, then roll your eyes when Marines stand for the anthem, because I do, and to this day I still do that. I'll take off my hat and I'll put a cover my hat. So what can we teach society? Again, any good veteran, right? So we've lived through division. I mean, again, and this is nothing, people. This is nothing fucking new. A lot of you were crying and bitching during the Bush, during the W administration about a lot of things. And by the way, I'm here to set the fucking record straight. Uh, Under Reagan, we bombed Syria. Under Bush, the father, no, we didn't. I don't. Oh, we went to Iraq. Uh, then under Clinton, we fucking bomb, Syria again, and I mean, it's like you people, do a little bit of research. It's like it's so frustrating sometimes. It's like I mean, seriously, right? But and we've seen it. I mean, I've lived through all this shit in deployments, transitions. So we I mean, we've seen some of you want this country to be communist, eh, like that's the best. Oh yeah, yeah, we should have all the same shit. Let me tell you, if communism fucking works, how come Cuba's a great example, Venezuela, China. So you means that you want? And by the way, if you share your own opinion in China, there will be people knocking on your door and sending you, and you'll disappear. They'll send you to rehabilitation camps, which they don't exist. That's just a nice word for you fucking disappearing. I have friends who have served in embassy duty in China, and they tell me how it is. Okay, so I don't know why would you even want to? Why would you even suggest that, right? And when discipline breaks down and ego replaces duty, I'm telling you, we're heading for a really shitty place. And the only ones that, and then you're going to be looking at guys like me, guys who speak their minds, guys who are men, and women, because I know there's females that serve. You're going to look at people like us to defend you, and hey, stand behind me, I got this, because all of you are just a bunch of pussies on your fucking keyboards and behind your phones thinking that you're all brave, right? So we know teamwork, we know mission focus, we're accountable for our own actions. So that's what this As a matter of fact, that's what this country needs more of. So we need to go back to real times when men were men, women were women. There's none of this fucking nonsense going on. No pronouns, no my feelings. Can I? Is it okay if I put my hands on you so I could cut your hair? None of that bullshit. I mean, fuck, dude. Come on, man. So you don't have to, and I'm doing a call to unity. You don't have to serve to matter, but maybe ask what you're doing to make things better instead of being a part of the fucking problem. Be a part of the solution. And veterans, you should be leading by example. Yes, I'm talking to the ones that were shitburst while you were in. Respectful dialogue. You know, have some civic action. Uh, Correct nonsense and with truth and grace. And people, pick up a fucking book, a history book every once in a while, and do some or do some historical research. And I say that because, I mean, even anything and everything can be changed online. But pick up a history book every once in a while. It's like educate yourselves for a little bit. So, and by the way, folks, we're not just warriors. Yes, we're watchdogs for this country, and we can make shit happen. So if shit goes sideways, you're gonna be looking at me. And if you're part of the problem, problems get we problems need to be solved. So if you don't want me to be part of, if you don't want to be part of the problem, then just be better, okay? So I don't see a need to agree. I don't need you to agree with me. That's okay. You've earned that. I, I've earned that. We've earned that right? But I sure expect respect. And if you disrespect me or infringe my rights, we're gonna have a fucking problem. I mean, that's how it is. I mean, shit. It's like fuck around and find out. So, and to the ones who serve, I know you already get it. So, and to the ones who didn't, oh my God. Think of vet every once in a while. Okay. Support one. And maybe sit out the next keyboard crusade. Just shut the fuck up and don't let it affect you. You make a lot more impact with silence. Because I read a lot of shit online and I read the comments and it's like, I really want to get involved. And at that point, I have a choice. I can let it affect me, and then I just get off, and I get caught on that, and then now, and I did that. As a matter of fact, I did that like two weeks ago with somebody with a meme on Instagram about a Chinese kid, and his sister doing the. I'm sure you've seen it about he's trying to learn English, which whatever. I mean let's face it, it was fucking funny. And I just say, "Oh yeah, that's pretty funny." As a matter of fact, my wife is an English coach, and I say, "Hey, look, my wife is an English coach." I mean, it was pretty. I mean, but it's okay. Nope, somebody just you know posted on there, and I posted that, and at one point I was like, and she even got me with, "Well, why are you opinionating if blah blah blah?" And I was like, you know what? She's fucking right. So I stopped right there. The point is that let's fucking sit it out. We all have our opinion. Don't let it get don't let it get the best of you. Okay. So, um, freedom does come with a price. So before you start criticizing the ones who paid it, ask yourself, what have you done with the freedom they gave you? You know what I'm saying? So, well, that's my opinion. So, and again, not politicizing the show in no way, shape, or form. I'm just saying, I'm just calling it like it is. But we do need to get back to fucking reality here, folks. All right. So I think this is a good. I think this is a good place to index today. So hey, look, if you've been ruminating, you kind of been getting like the shit that I'm reading online, and you're getting caught up in that. Hey, just calm down, take a breather. Let's get back. No need to panic. As a matter of fact, put the keyboard down and let's just calm down. And if you are going into a dark hole because of other many different things that are affecting your PTSD and whatever else, then hey, I got you. Hit me up on the show. There's the suicide hotline, veterans crisis line, military one source, TRICARE. Plenty of resources out there. Whether you're civilian or a veteran, just reach out to somebody. So let's take, because before we start obliterating other people, let's just be a little bit more kinder and gentler to one another. All right. So with that being said, everybody, hey, Isamas, Daisuke. I'll see you around, and I'll see you next week.